The Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations will come to order. Today's hearing is entitled Fueling Terror, the Dangers of Ransom Payments to Iran. Without objection, the Chair is authorized to declare a recess of the subcommittee at any time. And without objection, all members will have 5 legislative days within which to submit extraneous materials to the Chair for inclusion in the record. Without objection, members of the full committee who are not members of this subcommittee may participate in today's hearing for the purpose of making an opening statement and questioning the witnesses. The Chair now recognizes himself for 2.5 minutes for an opening statement. Today's hearing will examine the Obama administration's $1.7 billion cash payment to Iran to settle long-standing claims predating the Iran Revolution. While the settlement was disclosed in January, new details about the payment surfaced in August when the Wall Street Journal reported that $400 million of that payment was converted into Swiss francs and euros and then flown to Iran in cash on the same day that 5 American detainees were released from the Islamic Republic. On Tuesday, administration officials were forced to admit the remaining $1.3 billion it paid to Iran in interest was also handed over in cold, hard cash. Despite vigorous denials that there was any link between the payment and the release of American prisoners, the evidence presented by the administration makes it difficult to believe. Iran officials certainly believe that this was a ransom payment. A Revolutionary Guard commander said on state media that, quote, taking this much money back was in return for the release of the Americans, period, end quote. And one of the prisoners, Pastor Saeed Abedini, recalled that while waiting to be freed, Iran police told him that, quote, we are waiting for another plane, so if the plane doesn't come, we never let you go. Sounds like a ransom payment. In an effort to corroborate the administration's claims, this committee requested records about the payment from Treasury and the Department of Justice more than a month ago. And to date, the self-proclaimed most transparent administration in our history has failed to provide any, not one document to this committee. And the witnesses here today only agreed to appear under threat of subpoena. With jurisdiction over terror financing, this committee has a right and a responsibility to understand the facts surrounding this peculiar payment. While there's much that we don't know, we can be sure that Iran is committed to its support for terrorist groups like Hezbollah, the enemy of Israel and the West, whose leader earlier in the year admitted that he virtually gets all of his funding from the Iranian mullahs. Iran's support also goes to Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian dictator who uses chemical weapons on his own civilian people. I look forward to an explanation from our witnesses why we would make it so easy for Iran to continue to fuel terrorism by U.S. taxpayer expense. With that, my time has expired, and I yield to the gentleman and the ranking member from Texas, Mr. Green, for 5 minutes.